Hello students, let's start lecture 4 of the chapter Star and Solar System. Okay, so today we'll study the beautiful moon. Now, the moon that we see almost every night is a natural satellite of the Earth. We know that thing, right? We have only one natural satellite, that is the moon. That is the moon. Okay. So this the moon revolves around the earth on a regular path, and the gravitational attraction between the earth and the natural satellite, that is the moon, holds it in its orbit even as the moon revolves around the earth. Even it revolves around the earth. So moon here, you know that there will be this will move and this will revolve around the earth. So moon is the earth's only natural satellite, and earth moon satellite system together we can say that thing. And here that you can see that there are alternative name is the luna. Sometimes we can use the luna here, or lunar here also we can use. And there are this orbit are average distance of 384 400 kilometer. Okay, that means the average distance of orbiting Earth at an average distance of this 30 times Earth diameter. It has 30 times Earth diameter, and its gravitational influence very slowly lengthen the Earth's day. The moon's orbit around Earth has a sidereal period of 27.3 days. Okay, so the moon orbit around the Earth has a sidereal period of 27.3 days. And each synodic during each synodic period of 29.5 days, the amount of visible surface visible surface illuminated by the sun varies from none up to 100%, and this results in lunar eclipse. So there are different lunar phases due to this, and that will form the lunar calendar. So the moon is tidally locked to the earth, which means that the length of full rotation of the moon on its own axis causes its same side to always face earth, and somewhat longer lunar day is the same as the synodic period. And however, 59% of the total lunar surface can be seen from the earth through shifts in perspective due to libration. Okay, so this is the moon. Now moon surface is covered by rocks, loose dirt, which we call lunar soil, and it is pockmarked with craters of different sizes because of meteorites that hit the surface. And on earth these meteorites burn up in our atmosphere before they reach the ground, but this orb of the night has no atmosphere, so it is covered with large craters. And because there is no air, there is no life possibility. And first we know that Neil Armstrong was the first person to land on the celestial body, 1969. First stepped into the moon. Okay, so here that there are different The sun and moon are not of the same size. We know that the moon is drifting away from the earth. The moon was made when a rock smashed into earth, and moon makes the earth moves as well as tides. Okay. Now, stars and celestial bodies. Stars are celestial objects that can produce their own light, and they are extremely hot and extremely large, these stars. And they are mostly made up of hydrogen gas and little helium in them. And the sun is also a star. The sun's energy and light play one of the key roles in sustaining all forms of the life on the earth. So these are the stars, and stars, you can see that we know that these stars are very large, and it is very extremely large and extremely hot. Okay, so here you can see that three star systems are uncommon but not rare. NASA estimates that around 10% of the roughly 7 billion star system in our galaxy have three stars. What is rare for triple star system? Okay, and here that means stars are huge celestial bodies made mostly of hydrogen and helium that produce the light and heat from the churning nuclear forces inside their cores. Okay, and aside from our sun, the dots of the light we see in the sky, we see like a dot. Okay, now do stars move? The stars are not fixed, but they are constantly moving. If we cannot feel that thing, and here the earth is a planet, you know that, and we can see from our this there are so many stars also. And why do stars twinkle? That we also know, due to the refraction. In the light chapter we have studied, and here we can see that a star is a giant spherical ball of plasma, and all the stars that we can see are so far away that they appear as a perfect little dot. And here we draw the stars as the objects is because our eyes actually see them as having the points. Okay, so we are drawing these stars. Now, the stars produce the light by nuclear fusion. By nuclear fusion. Okay, because we know that it is extremely hot, and nuclear fission, that will this reaction, and it happens inside it. In this process, hydrogen is converted into helium and energy is released by product. And it is the energy that comes us as a light. And the sun is near to us, appears large and very bright in the sky. Sun is also a star. However, all other stars are extremely far away from us. So we can see the sun is a big one, but we can see the other stars. These are very little, small stars. So they appeared small and faint in the sky. In fact, many of these celestial bodies are hundreds times bigger than our sun in size and much brighter. But they don't appear so because they are so far away from the earth. Okay? Now they are present in the sky even during the day. We do not see them because the sun's bright light hides them. We can imagine one thing, that stars are not there in the sky. But no, stars are there in the sky always. We cannot see due to the sunlight, but this is the fact that stars are always there twinkling, and there are billions of them in the universe, and more than all the grains on the sand in the earth. So we have billions, millions of stars there. Constellation of stars. Constellation of stars. This is very important topic, and this we can see different constellation. So constellation, that means if this is an area, first I'm writing here, the constellation is an area only celestial body or sphere in which a group of visible stars forms a perceived pattern or routine just a minute. Pattern or outline typically typically representing animal like lion we can have, and mythological hunter also, mythological subject or inanimate object or inanimate object. And the origins of the earliest constellation likely go back to prehistory. Okay, so there are different constellations are there. So in the night sky, they seem to appear as groups called the constellation. And stars in constellation can be billions of kilometers apart. They only appear to be close when viewed from the Earth. Okay. So the stars also have an immense gravitational attraction, and in this gravitational attraction that can keep planet in orbiting around them. So here I want to write down so different seven major constellations, seven major constellation like Ursa Major, Cassiopeia, Orion, Canis Major, and also Centaurus, Crux, and Carina Carina. Okay, so here the nearest star to the Earth is the Proxima Centauri, and the name after the constellation Centaurus. And other very bright stars usually have names that don't correspond to their constellation, such as Polaris, Dhruva, Aldebaran, Rohini, Betelgeuse. I have told you mythological name also there. So Rohini and Ardra, Castor and Pollux, that is the Punarvasu, Regulus, that is Magha, and Speka, that is Chitra. So there are different names are there. Okay. Now, what are stars? We will write the question answers. Obviously, because after a lot of things we have studied, we need to give the answers of the questions. So let's change the ink color first. So here the stars are celestial body or objects that can generate their own light, and they are mostly made up of hydrogen gas with a little helium helium just a minute, in them in them. How do stars produce light? Stars create light by nuclear fusion. And in this creation, just a minute, in this reaction, hydrogen is transformed into helium and energy is generated as a byproduct. Okay. What are stars made of? Stars are usually composed of hot gases, hydrogen and helium are the main elements in it. What are the different types of stars? Stars can be categorized as per their temperature and mass. Based on decreasing temperature, stars are categorized. Stars are categorized into O, B, A, F, G, K, M. M stars are common, dim, fuller, and yellow or red in color. O stars are rare and very bright, hot, and blue or white in color. Okay. Which are the prominent star constellation in the sky? Virgo, you can see, Hydra, Satyrs, Ursa Major, Hercules, just a minute, Hercules and uh, Orion. Okay. Now, the pole star is one star whose position seems to be fixed. Pole star, that is called Dhruva. Okay, Dhruva star. All other stars seem to move around the pole star and it can be traced using the constellation Ursa Major. It can be traced constellation Ursa Major. Here you can see that there are the pointer of stars here and these are the polaries. So this is the little dipper and this is the big dipper here. Okay, and this is the Merak, this is the Dhruv. Now the light year. Now the stars and also the planets, they are in a very high distance. So in kilometer, it is not possible to write down. So if I want to write in kilometer, then we have to write 3 millions, 4 millions kilometers. So it is better that some unit will be discussed here. That is called the light year. That is called the light year. And speed of light, that we know that speed of light, we know that this is the 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second. So one light year, that is 9.46 into 10 to the power 12 kilometer, right? So the sun is 8 light minutes away from Earth and the distance of Alpha Centauri, that is 4.3 light years away. So light year, we are using this unit to express the distance of the planets and stars. Okay. Now, what is light year? It is the unit of distance, and in distance, light photon travels. The photon is the energy particle. Photon travels in the vacuum in 1 Julian year and denoted by light, Ly. And value of 1 light year is constant, and the term light year is often used for astrophysics to measure the distance between two astronomical objects, suppose Sun and Earth. So light travels at a velocity of 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second, and it can travel about 10 trillion kilometers. Okay. So 1 light year, that equals to this much kilometer. So it is better to use the light year because this is a huge kilometer. And the distance between Milky Way galaxy and the nearest galaxy and the Andromeda galaxy is 21 quintillion kilometer. So is it possible to write quintillion kilometer? So better we will use light year. And this number is too large, right? So that's why we are using, in the same reason, the solar system, we are describing the distance in terms of the astronomical unit. And for distance to other parts of the Milky Way galaxy, astronomers used the units of the light year or the parsec. They are using light year or the parsec. Now light year conversion, 1 light year, that is the Ly denoted by, and it is 9.4607 into 10 to the power 12 kilometer. So in miles it is 5.88 into 10 to the power 12 miles, and 1 light year in astronomical unit, you should remember this thing, that's why I am writing in red color. 1 light year, that equals to 63,241 astronomical unit. Okay, so astronomical unit also we can use. Now, how many light years away in the sun? The sun is a distance of 149.6 million kilometers away from the earth. So the sun at a distance of 15.54 into 10 to the power minus 6 light years from the earth. Okay, so sun is closer. Age of the celestial body using the light year. The light year as a distance measurement unit has another advantage. It helps in determine the age of the celestial body. Let us consider a star that is 1 million light years away. So the light from the star that travels at its speed of light to reach us, that is 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second. Now this is the distance. So star's light took 1 million years to get to us. The light that we are seeing was illuminated a million years ago. So we can find out the age of the celestial body. So the star that we see is really how far we can find out by using the light year. Similarly, our sun is 8 light minutes away, and if the sun were to suddenly explode right now, then we would not know about it for 8 minutes. For 8 minutes, because that is how long it would take for the light of explosion to get here. That means it will take 8 minutes to get. Suppose there will be some explosion, so to reach to our end, to make it visible, we require 8 minutes. Okay, we require 8 minutes. So that is the main problem, that we are not able to see the light, whatever right now it has been illuminated due to the explosion in the sun, we cannot see it just at that moment. Now, a little small questions are there. That questions answers we will write here. Let's change the ink color first. What is the velocity at which the light travels? So light travels at a velocity of about 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second. Okay. At what distance is the sun from the earth? The sun is 149.6 million kilometers away from earth. I have to change, make it capital. This is our earth. What is the value of 1 light year when expressed in kilometers? 1 light year, that is Ly, that equals to 9.4607 into 10 to the power 12 kilometer. Can the age of celestial body can be determined using light year? Yes. What is the value of 1 light year in astronomical unit? 1 light year in the astronomical unit, that equal to 63241 astronomical unit. Okay. Now the constellation, we know that constellation, that is the group of stars. Constellation, that is the group of stars. Now we will study it elaborately. The constellation, and the ancient men for navigation purpose, they are using this constellation, and like Ursa Major, Great Bear, Orion, Leo Major. So these are the different constellations. And constellations of stars, a clear moonless night, we can see thousands of stars dotting the night sky, and that there is little creative, and we can imagine the shapes and patterns where how they are arranged. So some of these patterns made up of the groups of bright stars are easy to recognize, and we call such groups as the constellation, right? So we can see a lot of constellation in the sky. Now, how are constellations named? The ancient people, they are giving the name of the mythological name. Sometimes they are giving the name of animal. So constellation Perseus, Andromeda, Cetus, Cassiopeia, Pegasus, these are all linked to the mythology of the Greek. These are the Greek words. And common constellation names are across the cultural, such as Pisces, the fish in Greek word called the Mina, that is the fish in Sanskrit. Okay. All the constellation appear to move in the sky from west to east, from west to east, from west to east, because the earth rotates from west to east. And all constellation in the southern hemisphere are not visible. Southern hemisphere are not visible, and not in the northern hemisphere, and vice versa. And this is because the earth is round, and some constellation do not fall in the line of sight. So person on the equator can see almost all the constellation, but the person in the northern hemisphere, they cannot see the constellation of southern hemisphere. If it will be in the southern pole, he or she cannot see the constellation of the northern pole. Okay. Now the zodiac constellation. There are 12 major constellations that line up with the sun's path along that sky, called the ecliptic. And these are zodiac constellation. Aries. Here you can see Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces. So there are different names are there, and astronomy, who are astrologers, they are using these names mostly, and these constellations were used to track the movement of the sun and track time of the ancient times. Time of the ancient times. Okay, so these are used for this. Now the Cassiopeia. Here the bright stars, you can see, so bright, no? And it is very much beautiful. Cassiopeia is the constellation which is visible in winter in the northern sky, and you can see this is a W or M. Okay, opposite of the M also you can see. From this side if you see, then it is the M. From this side if you see, it is the W, right? So it is a distorted letter W or M. It is the distorted letter W or M. W or M. Okay, distorted letter W or M. Now the Big Dipper, here you can see the Big Dipper. The Big Dipper is also called as Saptarshi in India, and the stars visible in the northern hemisphere. The constellation looks like a big ladle or like wheelbarrow and is a part of bigger constellation called the Ursa Major. Ursa Major, the Great Bear. Two of the stars in the constellation appear point is the pole star and Polaris Dhruva. Okay, and the pole star is the only star in that sky that does not appear to move east to west but appears fixed. The pole star will not move from east to west, and this is because it is directly above the Earth's axis. It is directly above the Earth's axis. This point is very important. Why the pole star that is fixed? Okay. Now the Orion. Here you can see someone is there, right? This is the arm, and here you can see this constellation is known as the hunter. This person is the hunter. These are the legs. These are the legs. This is the body. This is the head. And here you can see that this is the Mriga in India. Sometimes we are calling Mriga. And it is numerous bright stars in it. And three bright stars that are in lineup make up the belt. This is the belt of the hunter, and these three stars point to the brightest star in the sky, Sirius. Okay, so these three stars are very important. So here let's solve some questions answer again. What are the main 12 zodiac constellation? Let me take the pointer. So let's start the question answer. Fine. Let me take the blue pen. Okay, it is already blue. What are the main 12 zodiac constellation? Aries, that is Mesha, Taurus, that is Vrushabha, Gemini, that is Mithuna, Crab or Cancer, that is Karka, Leo, that is Singha, and Virgo, that is Kanya, Libra, that is Tula, Scorpion, Vrishchika, Sagittarius, that is Dhanusha, Capricorn, that is Makara, Aquarius, that is Kumbha, and Pisces, that is Mina, are the main 12 zodiac constellations. Which is the biggest constellation in the night sky? That is the Hydra. Hydra is the biggest constellation in the night sky. Give brief description of Orion constellation. The Orion constellation is also called the Hunter or Mriga in India. Three bright stars that are placed in a line form the belt of the Hunter. Sirius is part of this constellation. The brightest star in the night sky. The night sky. Okay, so this much for today. Thank you all. Thank you.